Welcome to the Four Fouls podcast. Tune in, don't foul out. Hey everyone, it's me, Brianna. Some people call me Bree. These four fouls do, but y'all don't get to. Y'all know the rundown of the show. We have 4 quarters. Each quarter, these 4 fouls are allowed to get some points. If they say something crazy, they get a foul. They get 4 fouls. They're out this week, and maybe we'll see them next week. So let's get everyone introduced. Let's start with Luis.
What's up, y'all?
Cori.
It's Uncle Cori today, as you can see with the fit.
CJ.
Yo.
And Devonte.
What? Do I gotta say more?
What's good, y'all? What's good?
No, that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's get started with our first quarter. We got some interesting topics this week. I'm going to start with some squids. So dozens of baby squid from Hawaii have been sent on the International Space Station for research purposes. Researchers are studying to see how space flights affect squid so that knowledge can be applied to see how a space flight affects the human body and health. Basically, they sent them out there to see what's going to happen, how they correlate with humans and how humans will react as well. So my question is, what do y'all think? Let's start with Devonte.
Call Peter. We have issues.
Not Peter.
Research is research. Got to do it on somebody. But again, we messing with stuff we shouldn't be. We trying to test something out because eventually there will be replaced with humans who'll be going into space. And guess what? It will not be your boy. So good luck to those squids.
I think I read the adult size of this squid is like 3 inches. So they're like tiny. Anyway, CJ, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know about all that, but I think we spend a lot of money on shit that doesn't have anything to do with what's happening on Earth, which is interesting. But, it's for scientific research, so I guess I'm cool with it. I mean, I ain't got nothing to do with me, so I really don't know, but it's cool, I guess. I mean, did we ask the squid's consent to go up there, or we just what's going on with that too? Is that
And they got
You're a little too woke, my brother.
I think they're trying to see like how can we survive outside of Earth, maybe looking into like how will we react if we decide to go to like Mars or something. So I think it's like bigger than what they're saying. What do you think, Cori?
Well, the article and all the research that I have looked into states that people's immune system gets a little out of whack the longer they're in space. So they're really trying to see how the squid's immune system will react to different bacterias the longer that they are out there. However, that's some bullshit. Let me tell you what's really going on. Y'all know the UFO report just came out. There's a bunch of stuff that's been happening with aliens and everything else. Hey, the lease on Earth is up, and they coming back to collect. All right? They sent us down here like, hey, y'all could borrow Earth for a little bit, but the lease is up. And we've been getting visited. They've been trying to tell us, hey, bruh, we coming back for Earth. We miss it. Y'all was supposed to find somewhere to live. And maybe they came back and said, we'll give you another extra 100 years. We doubled down. So now they trying to send the squids out for even longer or whatever. But, hey, man, the gig is up. The lease is up. It's time to collect. I just hope that the aliens don't collect me, man. Just leave me down here, bro.
Luis, how do you feel?
Man, I'm honestly concerned. After hearing Cori with the lease, like, what do people know about Earth that they're not telling us? Because we're doing a lot of experimental things to go up into space. So I'm a little skeptical. I don't like it. I don't like it at all because I can't afford it. So if something go down, I'm done.
They coming to collect.
We're going down with the ship.
Oh my gosh. Well, something else that's going on with the Earth that's kind of odd is, but not odd, I guess. We have a new ocean, y'all. The National Geographic has officially declared the large body of water surrounding Antarctica as the world's 5th ocean. Did I already know this was a thing? Did everybody already call it the Southern Ocean? You tell me. Should we be concerned? Devonte, what do you think?
One word. Megalodon. I'm just
Bro, the lease is up.
the lease is up. I'm gonna start saying that, bro. Every time I see some crazy stuff we messing with, because here we go again. I mean, that's what's up. But haven't we only discovered like what is it 8 or 3% of the ocean that we've only discovered that we know of, and we out here finding new stuff? That means new monsters, sea creatures, whatever you want to call it. It's stuff I don't want to know. So that's gonna be something else that we messing with that we should not. It was fine without us. It will be fine 100,000 more years when we're not here because we weren't here first. So I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't even know what to say. 5% is what we have discovered. You know how much is left? That's a lot. 95. We have so much more to go, and I don't want to know what else is in there. Another thing, megalodons, bro. I think they're real, and I think they're somewhere that we should not be trying to discover, and that's probably there. So I don't want to see it. I don't. Yeah. At World's End.
Cori, what do you think about this fifth ocean?
Oh, first off, as I will say for the rest of this episode, the lease is up. However, I think this is a lot like much to do about nothing. Not necessarily much to do about nothing, because global warming is most definitely a thing. But however, when it comes to defining what an ocean is, they already knew this, and apparently people had already been calling it the Southern Ocean, and essentially it's just where the water gets much colder than it does from the other surrounding oceans. The salinity levels are much different than the other surrounding oceans, which is why you have this certain marine life that you have out there. So this ocean is not a new thing. We just gave it a name. It's like, you know, a baby was walking. We never named the baby. Now we named the baby. The baby's always been there, right? So that's how I'm looking at it. Hopefully, but I'm with Devonte. The ocean is like the one thing in the world that like truly does scare me more than anything else. Because like outer space, I'm probably not gonna go to outer space, but I can fall in the ocean. I go on cruises and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could take me out there too. So again, I don't know what's in. It's maybe too cold, but maybe it's stuff down there that can live in the cold. But these monsters are aliens too, so they coming out. The lease is up. If it's finna be Godzilla, I hope we got a King Kong, because Godzilla finna come up out that ocean, boy.
Luis, are you concerned?
Oh, most definitely concerned. But I'm mostly concerned of the lack of creativity on this name, the Southern Ocean. Like, I just feel like if you gonna name something and you have the opportunity to name something, you just put two words together that basically describe what it is. You have the opportunity to, name a new ocean.
Is that not every other ocean?
You could be different, like be trendy. I'm just saying, do something new.
What would you name it?
That's just lazy.
What would you name it?
Oh, don't put me on the spot now. See.
Oh,
wow.
Your ass finna say Southern Ocean.
Or Ocean of the South.
What
Ocean
the
of the South.
The South.
CJ, what do you think? Do you think it's are you concerned about the ocean? What do you think about them declaring a new ocean?
I mean, as Cori said, the scientists for a minute who be studying the Earth like that have been calling it, referring to it as the Southern Ocean. So I don't think it's too weird that they're now officially naming it, especially considering they're doing so because National Geographic apparently is like releasing a new like subscription service or something like that for news and things. And I think that they just like coincided this with that. It's just one of those like money grab things, really, to me. I don't know. It seems
strikes again.
It really
capitalism
does.
Strikes. Hold on. What you mean?
But also, I mean, I get the concern about the ocean being the scariest thing. I will tell you this: Jackie has told me she ain't ever going to the beach like that, and I understand it. Listen, I've watched Jaws 2. I am also afraid of not coming back out once I go into a tide. You know what I mean? But I guess the big thing about this really is just that like we hype it up too many like really boring things. I feel like this is just like a really like mundane naming an ocean type thing. You know what I mean?
Bro, this is how horror movies start. CJ out here talking about something. This is just really boring things. He gonna get his ass dropped off in the Southern Ocean.
I just say I did not like the ocean like that. I agree. The ocean is scary.
Somebody gonna drop your ass off, boy. One of them aliens gonna come kick your ass up and drop your ass off in the Southern Ocean. Talking about, it's boring, huh? Okay.
I I think it's interesting because it's really all connected. Like all of the it's just one big ocean, but we named it different things. You know what I mean? What if it was just called
different
ocean?
segments.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just my little.
Just ocean. Just unity.
Yeah.
One Earth.
Speaking
Pangea.
of Earth and the start of it, right? So scientists announced that a massive fossilized skull that is at least 140,000 years old may be a new species of ancient human, nicknamed Dragon Man. Did we just unlock a new character? What y'all think, CJ?
I mean, yeah, this is super exciting. I mean, this is the kind of science stuff that I really enjoy. You know what I mean? Like learning more about where we come from, the lineage of humans and sentient creatures that came before us. All those things are super interesting to me. Now, I'll say this. I don't know about the name Dragon Man. When I first saw the name Dragon Man in the headline, I was expecting the picture to look a lot different. It just looks like a Neanderthal when you click on the picture to me, but I digress. It's still pretty cool. You learning more about the Earth and everything that came before us. So I think that's real nice. But you know, the world's got to end at some point. So at some point we all gonna be fossils, and it's all gonna be something. You know, I mean, we all gonna be discovered down the line. What? I know I didn't want to go all depressing on it. It's okay, man. Listen, all this, y'all talking about a lot of really, really scary stuff. You know, it got me reflecting and thinking inside. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
So now you see the
gravity of our situation. Thanks. I wasn't trying to be all negative, but then y'all brought in these topics, and now I'm just kind of,
say we're all gonna die.
Lease is up.
The lease is up, bro.
Lease is up.
Okay. CJ, if you don't have anything else, Devonte, what do you think?
I'm just confused on how CJ said it was boring, and to now, this is interesting.
No,
about a Dragon Man.
We just named the seed.
It sounds like
the last one was we just named the seed. This one
We just named the skull.
I feel like we
I don't
talking
think we just
about
named the skull.
Game of Thrones, discovering stuff, and I don't, man. Another hard pass. Dragon Man. That's all you got to say to that. That's crazy stuff. The lease is up.
I'm just tired of living through historic events.
Man.
Listen, I'm trying to be positive. I'm gonna stick to the line that Dragon Man is a creative name to name the skull. But yeah, like the new
skull.
I just don't, man. I don't know. It's weird because you've always think to frame, your thought process one way, and then boom, somebody somewhere starts digging a hole and finds something new, and they're like, wow, whatever we just knew is just different, which is crazy to me. So that's why I think this is pretty cool. But yeah, I kind of want to stop telling stories about these historic events, I just want something simple. I don't know. Am I the only one to feel this way?
No, I agree.
Not problem.
I agree, man.
Cori, wrap it up for us.
I mean, for one, Luis, the only way you're gonna do that is by not being here. So that's it. Every day, every day something gonna happen, bro. Every day is a historical event. So something gonna happen every day.
You just can't exist.
That's it, bro. That's it. I'm sure people
be like, are y'all depressed this week, bro? What's going on?
Y'all good?
I'm sure back in the day when they were living with fucking candles and had a freaking rock for a wheel, they were thinking about the same shit, bro. Like, damn, I'm tired of living through the same old, some historical events. But here's the two ways I think about
we got
this.
Fire, bro. What the fuck is going on?
I know. Where the electricity, bro? Like, what's going on? But there's two ways to think about this. One would be that the Dragon Man humans they trash because they extinct. So if they was cold,
they didn't make
they'd
it.
still been around. They'd still been around. You know what I'm saying? If they was cold, but obviously they were big dumbasses, just like everybody else. So they weren't. I guess the most fittest to survive.
The most fittest.
I don't know. The most fit to survive. The other way to think about this is they are not men. However, they are aliens, and they left and leased us this earth, and the lease is up, and we just figuring out stuff, bro. The lease is up.
They coming to collect.
I'm telling you, the lease is up. They coming to collect, and all we did was we ain't find that, bro. They came down and dropped that off. Like, remember, I'm telling you that we still got them up here. You see how big this skull is? We coming.
You got tinfoil under that hat, bro? You got some tinfoil under there, bro?
Me? Watch out, bro. Watch out. You know what I'm saying? Watch out.
Condolences
Don't worry
to
about
their
what I'm
loved
doing, bro.
ones.
If you see my eyes go this way, like the lizards and stuff, then we got issues. But other than that, bro, watch out. Watch out. I'm just trying to let y'all know. Don't let, if it happens, y'all gonna say, oh, Cori let us know that the lease was up.
So that's the end of our first quarter. We are a sports podcast, so let's talk about sports.
Are we?
Tell them.
Anyway, what I have for y'all in this second quarter. The Supreme Court rules unanimously against the NCAA, paving a way on how college athletes can be compensated and also opens the doors for future legal challenges. So my question for y'all is, where does the NCAA go from here? What do we see happening or foresee any issues? Let's start with Devonte.
College sports won't be the same soon. It's time to fold, NCAA. The message is clear. Get with it, or something. Are we really going? The whole thing about NCAA football about to be college EA Sports college football. That's going to be NCAA eventually. Like, we're not going to be able to. Not going to be able to, but we're not going to use them eventually later on down the road. Like I say, about 20 years down the road, if the NCAA don't get on board, there will be something completely different about college sports. And it really does suck because we're just so used to it. It's a tradition, but we know what's deeply rooted behind that tradition. So NCAA, slow down, but catch up. Man, it's rough out here.
CJ, what do you think?
I mean, the most immediate future, the NIL is going to get passed and brought through. We'll talk about that in a second. In the long-term future, a lot of what Devonte's saying is true, but I will even say that it's just going to be a dogfight. Like, we're going to see a lot of media things over the next 2 to 5 years, because I don't think immediately we're going to see a lot of lawsuits get brought up. We're going to have to see how the new NIL rules get implemented and what it goes from there. But I do think that the NCAA is going to be facing a lot of legal challenges for the next decade, considering how things are going to start panning out when it comes to the rules and regulations. It's time to pay the athletes. That's what really should be next. If we're talking about what will solve the immediate issue, pay the fucking athletes the way they should be paid. You're multi-billionaire companies. Y'all need to start paying the individuals who are actually getting y'all that money. So, yeah.
Cori?
This one's a little bit weird for me as somebody who played college sports, but I don't disagree with whatever CJ or Devonte has said, right? Which is stuff is changing. And there's only a couple of ways around this. If the NCAA wants to stay pure to what they have normally done, right? Which is take advantage of their players. And for the most part, they're minority players. So the only way around this for the NCAA is to force people out in like another league to be created for people who do not just want to go to college, but they want to play somewhat like maybe semi-pro or whatever before they go into the NFL. And then the NCAA can stay as pure as they want to stay. That's not going to happen, okay? Because they're still money hungry. So do I think it's bad for the sport or what's going to happen next? I think it's actually still going to be good. People, these colleges are huge businesses. They have huge names and huge brands. Like, people from a kid want to go and play somewhere. Like, Devonte, why are you Boomer Sooner? You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew for the longest time you wanted OU, you love OU, and if you had the chance to go play OU football, you would be playing OU football. Like, that's just what it is. And there's so many players out there who are exactly like that. So pay them, especially when we talk about NIL stuff. We'll talk about that, get a little like frisky. But I don't know. I think it'll be fine. NCAA, they'll figure out a way to still finesse because that's what they've always done. So they better get with it or get lost.
Facts.
Luis, what do you think?
I just want to make the distinction that the court ruling lifts the cap of educational benefits and institutions able to provide. And that to me is extremely game changer. Because if you are a college athlete and you know that, hey, I may not go drafted or I'm looking maybe at the 5th or 6th round, there is an opportunity for you to get, graduate scholarships, study abroad, to internships, potentially get paid for medical or law school. And that kind of changes the perspective and the recruiting for certain athletes, because at the end of the day, this model that the NCAA has is extremely, extremely foul. Like it's disgusting to the point where you have government entities stepping in and saying, yo, this is crazy. Like, we are honestly looking, and this is kind of a historic because we're looking at how labor laws are kind of adapting to a college athlete, how we're looking at compensations. That's extremely crazy to think about a student going through. But the recruiting, I think it has to change, and I think we're gonna see the NCAA shift and become a little bit more progressive or receptive to what the student athletes like or need.
And then y'all kind of touched on this, right? So the NCAA has drafted in that policy, the NIL policy, and student athletes are already speaking out about their proposal. So is it smart for the NCAA to let universities draft their own NIL policies? Let's start with Cori.
Hell no, it's not. Because here's the thing. Different universities have different powers, and they have different sets of money, right? So if you're Division I versus Division III or Division II, they draw much more marketability, much more funds and everything else. Allowing a this is the NCAA, again, this is why I hate the NCAA. This is them saying, we'll give it to you, right? When the federal government says, we'll let the states have it, it's typically like, we don't want to be liable for the bullshit that's about to happen because we know it's about to happen. It's the same thing with the NCAA. What they're going to say is, we propose this as a temporary fix, which will probably become a permanent fix, but we'll let y'all decide how y'all deal with this. Which means that if I go to Alabama, I can get more money off of my name, image, and likeness versus if I go to an Oklahoma State or maybe an Iowa State or something like that, or maybe a Coastal Carolina. Right? So then how many people are actually going? It's going to be so much harder to recruit at the schools who either don't have the funds to do so or in smaller markets.
Yeah.
So there has to be, when it comes, for me at least, there has to be some sort of standard across the board when it comes to payment or anything else for name, image, and likeness, because this is going to favor the big schools over the small schools.
CJ, what do you think?
I actually disagree with Cori, and the reason why is because during my research, one such a senior college football writer, Nicole Arbach, stated that the NCAA has to be very careful with its language and its policies after the Supreme Court decision last week. That was a unanimous decision in a very partisan court, probably one of the most partisan courts that we've seen in the entirety of U.S. history. So the fact that they were unanimous on this means that there are going to be legal challenges in the future. That means that any policy that the NCAA drafts going forward, you cannot go and make that policy as word I'm looking for, constraining as possible, because you're going to open yourself up to being challenged. Instead, you let the schools decide. And they know inevitably they're going to be challenged on their policies regardless of what's going on. But this is we know it's going to happen at some point. Let's not happen before the season. Let's get some seasons in, understand the policy and the court decisions, and try to form something that can be a longer lasting one in the future. I don't think the NIL, this policy that they're drafting now, is going to be the policy forever. I think this is just going to be for what it looks like for at least the next season or two.
Devonte, looks like you agree. Do you agree?
Oh, no, I just liked what he said, but I'm definitely about to agree with Cori. I appreciate CJ spitting those facts, but you about to give it up to the schools to see how much basically they're going to be able to make off their section of athletes versus TCU. Come on now. That's going to be rough. That is going to be so rough, man. But hey, I mean, it's a small step solution at this moment. Will it work? We shall see. But it's going to be even more trouble for the NCAA because it's going to end up bouncing right back onto their plate, and they're going to have to take care of it. So, just quick remarks.
Luis?
To me, this is a unique crossroad of politics and sports, because the NCAA is only allowing this to or not allowing, or is being forced to do this because 6 states passed NIL policies. So now they're telling the institutions, go ahead and draft your policies based on your state legislature. And the NCAA is saying, hey, we don't want to assume responsibility. And they're taking their hands off of it. So at the end of the day, we're moving towards playing players. I think we need to make a distinction that the players going to the higher institutions will, disproportionately make more money than those going to maybe a Kent State. And the point that I'm trying to make is this step into the right direction is an opportunity to make college a little bit more affordable for those student athletes and have money in their pockets. But there's going to be such a high disparity in value on how we place to players. The number one running back in the nation will make definitely more money than the number 12 quarterback. And now we're kind of getting into how do we kind of formulate that value for these players beyond just academics, and how do we form the autographs, the money from boosters. It's so much to kind of wrap your head around that the NCAA is saying, hey man, we know we've been messing up, but we just don't want no business with this. So I understand where CJ coming from, but at the end of the day, it's an opportunity for third parties to pay athletes and not the institution. So I'm all for it, but we just need to have some uniform with these policies.
I would
Like how the hell you got your foot in? Go ahead, CJ. Go ahead, CJ.
And real quick, so this policy, and I want y'all to understand, like, I'm not trying to like back up the institutions. I actually think that they want this policy to fail. I think that they want this policy to blow up in the face of all the schools who are going to make the policies, because then they can turn around and say, "I told you, we can't do it the way that y'all wanted to do it." And so to me, this is I'm looking at the question and saying, well, the question's asking, is it a good is it good for the NCAA to do it? If the NCAA is taking this step, is it smart for them to do it? And for the NCAA, it is. It's entirely smart, and it's honestly their only option, because I don't think they have really another option. If they try to make anything really strict, they're going to end up getting put back in the courts before the end of the year, I think. So
or
that's the only reason why I say that.
You can assume responsibility for your wrongdoings, bring student athletes to the table, and
You could, but it's a $1 billion company. When is any $1 billion company assume responsibility?
I'm just saying that there's options out there. There's options. They're just making choices.
Yeah, Devonte? I mean, just imagine. What's this? What, a 2012, 2013 A&M football with Johnny Manziel trying to pick, how much. Man, this is brutal. So just give it a different outlook.
Hey, hell yeah, my boy Luke. That was a crazy year, but also, damn, I wish I was still playing, because when I was around, boy, they just used our image and name and likeness without no damn nothing. No, I got $12 in the class action lawsuit. That was back when NCAA was still out. You know what I'm saying? $12 was like $12.74. It was like nothing, but it was still cool to be a part of that lawsuit.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of wrongdoing, something really kind of messed up happened. One of the most accomplished players in the women's game. I'm gonna make sure I try to say her name right. Nika Ogumike. Anyone? Yeah? Sound good?
Nika, we hope we didn't mess your name up. We sorry.
We sorry. We gonna defend you right here, though.
Right. Did as best as I could. But she was left out of the U.S. Olympics team. She's the only WNBA MVP to never make an Olympic team. Should there be more transparency with the selection process? Let's start with Luis.
Yes, there should definitely be more transparency. She's the only MVP to never make an Olympic team. She was left out in 2012 and 2016. But the last 5 years, she's committed to USA basketball. She placed in the FIBA tournament and is part of 2 FIBA World Cup championship teams. So she can clearly play internationally. Why is she getting snubbed? I just don't get it. She's extremely gifted, talented. I think they're citing the fact that she's unable to practice due to an injury. But I mean, I feel, kind of that's a double standards, because Diana Taurasi is also having an injury, and she made the league. She made the team, and she's 39. I think she had a fractured sternum. So, I mean, it's just, I feel like it's a double standard. So, come on. let her be part of the Olympic team. She's 30 years old, and it's always somebody's dream to be, an Olympian. So come on.
Devonte, what do you think?
So we're gonna put her in Space Jam, but not the Olympics. Make it make sense. Period. I mean, we already know she got the juice, bro. She's cold. Why is she not playing? Like, I mean, another downfall on why people are not really trying to understand or even give the women's basketball a chance is because of certain small things like this, and it's just like certain people will find an excuse. See, that's why I don't watch it. But like, we got to keep up with it. Like, if she's going to be in such a iconic film, because LeBron James is already doing that, that's like trying to say, oh, he's the the new Jordan now, he's the image of basketball. We're trying to do that the same with our women's basketball player now, because they're needing more acknowledgement and they are well deserving of that. So then why won't we have her representing our country? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. So something's got to be explained why, and like how Lou was saying, like, it might be because of an injury or she's not able to make those games or practices, my bad, not games. But I mean, we talking about practice, like whew, that's all I got to say.
CJ, what do you think?
I love that y'all put this topic on, and I love that Luis, you use some stats. Let me throw out some other stats for you, all right? The only WNBA MVP champion who did not get added onto the Olympic roster in the same year in which the Olympics was happening, 2016. 6-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, 4-time All-WNBA All-Defensive Team, 2-time FIBA World Cup gold medalist, number 1 pick and Rookie of the Year. And she's the WNBA president. What the hell are we doing? Listen, the 5-person panel who decides which players on the team obviously have a kinetic UConn lean, right? We know Gino's on the 5-person panel. We understand that the, I think it's the VP or high up exec for the Connecticut Sun is also on the 5-person panel. And if you know anything about the Connecticut Sun and UConn, they have a really close affiliation. It's kind of like a sister program, essentially. It seems as if we have a Sparks situation right now, because Candace Parker didn't make the team in 2016 either. And what the fuck? You didn't let Candace Parker get on the team? What are we doing, bro? What are we doing, man? This is to me a time when it's not just the women's national basketball team that has issues when it comes to making decisions. It's also the U.S. national selections process for a lot of different teams. The soccer, for women's soccer, when it comes to paying them fairly, from softball and all the things like that. Like, we have an issue with giving the individuals who deserve to be in recognition and in these teams put on the teams. And that's my ultimate issue with this. Is like, it's a continuing pattern that we ain't talking about the shit on the men's team right now, right? Everybody who's on the men's team right now, we know they deserve to be on there, except maybe like 1 or 2 players. Maybe not 1 or 2. Like, why is Kevin Love on the team?
They get a choice.
They get a choice. Why is Kevin Love on the team? But I digress.
Corey, what do you think?
Well, I think that CJ just rolled into the point I'm going to get into, which is I'm not even going to talk about the WNBA. The question is, you know what I'm saying, should there be more transparency in the selection in the process of this selection? And yes, there should be. Because why the hell is Kevin Love playing for the men's team? But this makes me believe that there is some sort of politics in cahoots and or whatever in both selection processes, even though there's like people can opt out and things of that nature. I don't know why, like, some people who are like 36 are still doing it. Whatever, you're still balling, you can ball. Some players didn't even make the USA team until they were like in their 30s when it comes to WNBA. But we also know that, like, they've won every single gold medal at the Olympics since 1996. So they're gonna wash whoever they play, but she need to be on the team. Like, she cold. She's better than some of the players who are on the team, and that's what it should be. It should be a representation of our league and our nation. And the thing is, if I'm going to Kevin Love, bro, I love you, bro. Kevin Love cold, or he was cold. He don't deserve to be on the damn USA team.
Nope.
Well, hopefully something will come out. Maybe she'll be able to make a statement.
We'll take her on the men's team.
Oh.
Get Kevin Love off. Bring her on the men's team.
Now we talking. A real MVP.
Oh my. Well, y'all, the last thing I have for you for this quarter is it was reported this last week that the Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield is looking forward to a contract extension soon. Out of the expiring contracts from 2018 QB class, which young QB are you extending first? Baker, Lamar, or Josh Allen? Let's start with Devonte.
Baker the Quaker Mayfield. Period. This man is the Cleveland Browns quarterback. Cleveland Browns quarterback. I need y'all to let that sit in your head. Cleveland Browns, bro. They literally have not been relevant for anything good these past 10 years. In the past 3 seasons, I would say they've been doing really good, playing good football. They didn't play the greatest, I would say 2 seasons ago, but they were still, progressing. Baker has literally made them a playoff, if not Super Bowl contending team, if they can. If they get the offense clicking right with Odell, that's a good team. Pay this man. I don't understand this whole hold and setback on paying your quarterback. Like, you're literally letting your franchise quarterback sit there and wonder, am I worthy of being on this roster? Am I worthy of the money that some of these players are making? No, Baker's not about to get the biggest contract of any quarterback. Nowhere near touching Mahomes' money. But yes, he should be the first one paid. Lamar's contract is not going to happen probably to the end of this season, because they still have questions in if he can throw. And I'm just like, what? The dude won an MVP. But that's a whole situation they got to worry about when at the end of the day they need to solve their whole receiving core issues. So obviously I feel like Baker's going to get paid before him. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He's going to have to win a division again to make sure it's a consistent thing for them to give it to him. Baker has proven he can make the playoffs. He can win games for this team. He can lead this team. He has made this team relevant. Literally, their past quarterbacks that they have been washed trash and has not worked out. Baker has led them to a playoff win. He even led them to their first win in 2 seasons. They literally went 2 seasons without winning football games, bro. And he made them relevant again. Pay Baker, Quaker, Mayfield, ASAP. Period. Boomer Center.
CJ, looks like you got something to say.
Listen,
Speak it.
Listen.
Speak it.
Every one of these 3 quarterbacks, I believe, is going to get a contract extension with their team. I don't think any one of these quarterbacks are not. I do have concerns about Lamar and the Ravens. I think he will get an extension. I just don't know if they're going to try to play the same game that Cowboys play with Dak. Yep. Josh Allen is absolutely getting an extension. There's no doubt about it. He's going to get that shit. It's just a matter of working out the numbers at this point, because the market's been set. I don't think they're going to break the market. I don't think any of these 3 quarterbacks are breaking the market. I will say that there is no reason not to pay Baker at this moment, because he's not going to get any higher of a contract than what would happen if the other 2 signed before him. And when I look at the history of the Cleveland Browns since 1999, y'all, they have had 28 starting quarterbacks. That is absolutely the most out of the league. And Baker does bring some semblance of consistency to the team. And let me get this out of the way too. The roster behind Baker is the best out of the 3 teams the 3 players that we just mentioned. Like, the Cleveland Browns are stacked outside of the quarterback room. And I think Baker is a comparable quarterback. I think he can play and get them to the playoffs. I don't think that they're going to win a Super Bowl with Baker, but I think that they can do some really amazing things this year with him. And so that's why I will agree with Devonte on the premise that there's no reason not to pay him at this point in time. Like, there really isn't. He ain't going to get paid more. And, like, do they really want to open up another search for a quarterback? Like, really? I don't think the Cleveland Browns want to do that. So I will say, pay Baker, please.
Corey, what do you have to add?
Baker's the last person I'm paying. And let me tell you why.
I don't disagree.
You got it.
Lamar, I think, is second. I think Josh Allen, you pay now. You pay right now. Let me tell you why. Josh Allen's been in the league, and last year, I think he was arguably the best quarterback in the league. Arguably, I can argue every week. Up against a couple of other quarterbacks, the top tier quarterbacks were really up there. Josh Allen was playing lights out. He had a great year. He's never thrown more than 12 interceptions. Last year was Baker's first year that he threw less than 14. So, even though he might throw high numbers of touchdowns, his second year he threw 22 touchdowns and 21 interceptions. Come on, bro. He looked like Eli Manning out there when he was just slanging them INTs. So I pay, and the reason why I pay him, I'm not saying he's not balling. What I'm saying is last year I think was a step in him proving himself, but he also needs more steps. And you're the Browns. And so if I'm the Browns and I know that he still has to continue to prove himself, I don't pay him now. I pay him when he proves himself. Josh has been on a roll and consistent. And their quarterbacks have been not as merry-go-round as the Bills quarterbacks haven't been more as merry-go-round as the Browns have, but they haven't really had too much consistency in the Bills franchise in a long time. But you can count on Josh Allen. Pay that man. The Ravens, they pretty much always, since 2008 at least, have had consistency in quarterback play with Joe Flacco and even a little bit before that. So you can wait on him if you want to. He's also much more probably of an injury risk because he plays much faster and they draw up plays for him. I know Josh Allen runs as well, but doesn't run as much as Lamar runs. Yeah. And he's much more of like, I'm going to slide down and get out of bounds. And Lamar plays big and he plays fast. So if I'm an organization, I'm probably not, I'm playing Lamar second. Playing Josh first, Lamar second. And Baker's going to have to give me another one of these seasons for me to give him money.
Luis, wrap it up.
I'm actually going to agree with Devonte and CJ on this one. And the premise of this, the reason I'm paying Baker first, because it's going to be the cheapest contract out of all those three.
Thank you.
That is the only reason I'm paying Baker first. Josh Allen has the potential to reset Dak's deal. And I guarantee you, Lamar will utilize Allen's deal as a blueprint on how to navigate with his. Because let's face it, I think Lamar is the biggest centerpiece quarterback for the franchise compared to the other two quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield is a manager. Josh Allen, although an amazing talent, there's a great team built behind that. The Bills is a great team. Lamar is responsible for the rushing yards, the passing yards, the rushing touchdowns, and the passing touchdowns. He's more responsible for their offense than Josh Allen. So I feel that Lamar, if he wasn't too much of a dual quarterback, if they, as people would say, develop the pocket passing, he would be better than Josh Allen. But I'm paying Baker first, then I'm paying Lamar, then I'm paying Josh. But I believe Lamar should deserve the highest contract, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Bro, so you gonna tell me
that
the people who y'all believe is the franchise quarterback, right? Is the franchise quarterback. You're saying he's the franchise quarterback. He is going to sit there and try to take a lesser deal than everybody else? You're not gonna tell me that Baker Mayfield, I'm talking about Big Balls Baker, is not going to want the same deal as everybody else?
He doesn't get that privilege because he has two elite running backs in a great O-line. Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, and an amazing tight ends at Austin Hooper. You have weapons. Who's Lamar passing to? That's Bryant?
If I'm Baker, and you're not paying me the money that I see everybody else paying, though you're telling me I'm the franchise, I'm asking for a trade.
He's not the franchise. You know who the franchise is? Myles Garrett.
Y'all just sat up here and said he is the Browns franchise quarterback.
Who's y'all?
Listen, wait, okay, I gotta step in here because that was not what was said. I said that he brings a layer of consistency that the Browns have not seen since 1999. Don't misinterpret my words. Don't misinterpret my words. I think personally,
Devonte said he was the quarterback, right?
Devonte, he's an OU fan, bro. We know this.
Listen. I'm not gonna sit here and talk to the OU fan. That's his opinion. I think he gonna
not necessary.
Decide what he wants to. I personally think though that roster behind Baker, you can stick any quarterback in and they'll probably end up being a little bit.
That's why you don't pay competitive.
Him. No, but the thing is that he's been consistent. There's no reason not to keep him on the team because they're not going to get they're not going to get into the range where they can get a top tier quarterback unless they trade for them. And I don't think that they want to give up the rest of their assets on the team just because they're going to have to pay someone to play quarterback, and you pay the person who's been the most consistent since 1999.
Hell no! Is he still the? Is he?
That's
still,
how you compare it to Dak too.
Thank you. No, that's what I'm about to say. Listen, CJ, listen, hear me out. CJ, hear me out.
Hold the hell
up.
Not
Dak at skill level. Not Dak at skill level. Hear me out.
Guys, we touched the nerve.
I'm saying, is Baker still on his rookie contract?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to bleed his ass out like I did with Dak. Dak got to prove to me even more before I pay him. That's what Baker going to have to do. Baker going to have to play out into the very end before you can tell me I got to pay you, bro.
Listen to me. And this is why, here's what I'm going to tell you why
you
you're wrong.
said it.
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
it.
Let me tell you why you're wrong about Dak specifically. Do you understand the cap casualty the Cowboys have created with themselves because they did that? Do you understand if they
Blame
just
your
paid
team.
Dak 2 years ago that we would be in a position that we could go out and get some people in free agency that would help our team? And yes, I would blame Zeke, but I mostly blame the fact that they didn't pay Dak first. Here's the issue with this comparison between the two. Dak proved it for like 3 years straight, right? He did that shit back to back years. They should have paid him after year one when he did that shit. So that's to me is where like he was playing at the same level that Baker would get paid at this point. That's what I'm trying to say.
How many other years y'all went to the playoffs?
Huh?
How many other years y'all went to the playoffs and did good?
Okay, Corey, you want to ask that in a team sport? How many years is Cowboys
Not
in the
in the
bottom
team
20 in the
sport.
league?
No. Let me tell you why. Let me state my point. I'll answer for you. I'll answer for you. Let me tell you why. When teams win, who do they praise?
The quarterback.
The quarterback, okay.
Especially when you're talking about the America's team. You're talking about
God.
people who are followed up. Time out.
Name
You're talking about teams.
one quarterback that goes into the Cowboys quarterback room and fixes their defense. Tell me one quarterback who goes in and completely overrides the fact that their defense was the worst in the franchise history this last year.
Yeah.
What the hell?
You're not wrong, CJ. You're not wrong, but guess what? Quarterbacks can score points, can't they?
And he scores points. What the fuck are you talking? What?
So if they lost games, this is what I'm saying. If they lost games, this is why people put stuff on the quarterbacks. We know as football fans, time out. We know as football fans, what do we say? We say it's the same with Philly and other stuff. When our defense was trash, we blame it on the quarterback. We fucking trade down McNabb and even motherfucking Carson Wentz.
We not Philly.
Right?
No one's Philly except Philly, bro. That's all you're talking about.
I'm saying you're missing the point. My point is that when teams win, the quarterback is paid and praised. And when teams lose, the quarterbacks don't get paid.
And that's an irrational
take.
And that's an irrational take, Corey. Why are we? Are we playing irrational sports right now? Are we playing realistic?
Bro, are you an
what are we
actual
looking
fan?
at? Yes.
Are you
what are you talking about?
So then you know that that's how people think.
Yeah, Corey, I understand that that's how people think.
You know that's how people
think.
think.
But if you're thinking about where the actual issue is when it comes to the teams who cannot perform well, if you're talking about the Cowboys and the Browns, one team has an elite defense, the other team was poo cheese. All right? And the team that had the worst quarterback was able to make it to the playoffs because the defense could help them out. Yes, Dak can score 40 points per game, but if his team gives up 45 points
per game,
he scored 30. That's a little bit of hyperbole. They scored like 35.
Now?
They were scoring about 35 points per game when he was playing at the beginning of the year, and his team was giving up like 36, 37, and on average per
Bro,
game.
I need you to understand,
Mayfield
CJ.
still threw 26 touchdowns.
Oh my god!
I need you to understand, CJ. I'm not dissing Dak. I wasn't dissing.
That's what I'm saying.
comparing the situation.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Corey's not even dissing. We're
I'm not
comparing the
dissing Dak.
situation, and you got a little offended because we're putting Baker and Dak in the same sentence.
I'm offended because you guys are continuously talking about a conversation in which the Cowboys fucked up. Like you're saying the Browns did the same thing that the Cowboys did because ultimately they signed Dak, but they fucked themselves in the cap structure over the next couple of years. They're going to be bottom in the cap over the next 4 to 5 years because of this deal.
That's because they felt
And so
bad.
basically, CJ, are you saying that if the Browns do the same with Baker and he decides
they
to
will
like
fuck
go
themselves.
off,
Yes, they will lose all their assets.
Okay.
They will lose all their assets.
Here's the right. I feel you, CJ. Here's the difference where I'm saying when it comes to CJ. I mean, when it comes to Dak, I agree that they should have paid Dak earlier. But you want to know
Everybody
why?
does.
Because I think Dak is way more since he's been in the league consistent than Baker Mayfield.
He won
I'm
rookie of the year,
saying
yes.
I haven't seen the same
Baker did too,
consistency.
my bad.
I haven't seen the same consistency when it comes to Baker.
I
Last year was
get
Baker's
that.
best year.
I get
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
I get
so
you're
I want
comparing.
more years out of Baker.
I get you're comparing, but I'm trying to tell you, it's a hard league to replace a quarterback with a franchise quarterback, right? And the Browns really are one or two pieces.
So he is a franchise quarterback.
No, I'm saying a quarterback
Just messing
with a franchise quarterback. I didn't say he was I said a quarterback with a franchise quarterback. And the Browns have to look at what they have at the moment and say that this is a Super Bowl winning roster, potentially, if Baker plays to where he can play when he was at rookie of the year and all the rest of that shit.
Every year.
No, but okay, all right, but like this year, like their team is legitimately like really well. They performed spectacularly last year, and no one really was expecting him to with Odell Beckham out. Now he's back. He's apparently really hyped up and motivated to play. Like, what can we not expect except for them to succeed this year? And if Baker doesn't show up and plays, then that's one thing. But like, we're guesstimating off of a season we don't know yet, and that's where teams get themselves screwed at the end. Because if he comes out and he plays amazing, damn, bro, he's gonna cost them more money. Yeah, the costs are gonna go up, and it's gonna be on the team. So like,
Pay that man.
That's a gamble, right? Like everything's a gamble.
I mean,
Guess
the
we
Browns,
go
I would say
find out.
Baker's more of a gamble than
also
Dak
got to
was.
play
So.
Denzel Ward. They also got to pay a lot of people. So I mean, signing
not
Baker
going to the
now
Super Bowl.
cheap is the best option for the team.
Yep.
All right, we went really over. Sorry about that.
That
Yeah,
wraps
my
up
bad.
our second quarter. Now we're going to my favorite quarter, factor cap, third quarter. The first one I have for you is the NBA is planning to the NBA is planning to implement new rules to limit non-basketball moves used to draw fouls beginning next season. So, needed, cap, or fact? Is it an overreaction? What do we think? Let's start with Cori.
This is very much so needed. So I don't know if that's factor cap, but it's needed.
It'd be fact. It'd be fact.
That's fact.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it is needed. The one thing I can't stand is somebody pump faking, a dude jumping on the side of them. They didn't jump all the way to the other side, shot a three with their left hand, even though they right handed to draw a foul and get a three. I'm not saying that it's not smart. You're utilizing the gray area in the rule, right? I'm not saying it's not smart, but that's just not basketball. Bro, like that's not basketball. Like, come on, bro. Show your skill, get in your bag, and score some points. Like, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see all this unnatural stuff. People getting these weird fouls. We know how bodies are, right? Newton's law or whatever. Your body in motion stays in motion till it's not, right? So if my momentum is carrying me one way and you jump the other way, even though I would have been out of your way when I jumped, come on, bro. You initiated the foul. So actually, I would like to see it be called an offensive foul. I don't know if it's like a technical or not, but I would like for it to be that so it can be a deterrent from them doing it. And even so, when it comes to even like the swipe throughs, right? Like that's not even a normal motion. Nobody's shooting like that. You know what I'm talking about? When they're at the three, they get the ball all the way down here. Somebody's checking them with their hand trying to play defense and they just swipe their hand up. Like that's not a natural motion. So I want them to kind of look at that too. And if it's a pull through shot, get them the fouls, bro. Change it up a little bit. Make it a little bit more clean and get that BS off the game. And maybe we see a different Harden then. My prediction.
Luis, what do you think? Is it needed or is it an overreaction? Fact
Oh, it's
or
for
fact?
sure needed. It's needed. James Harden's point per average is about to go down. But a lot of players benefit from this, and they've made three changes, and I'm going to read them out loud so we can have a little bit more context. When a shooter launches or leans into a defender at an abnormal angle, that's number one. Number two, when a shooter kicks his leg up or the side at an abnormal angle, and when an offensive player abruptly steers off his path sideways or backwards into a defender. So those are the ticky-tacky fouls that we always see that are like, man, come on, James, what are we doing right now, right? And I think this is extremely beneficial because it's going to make games a little bit more defensive, and it's going to progress a whole lot faster. So I think it's extremely beneficial. It's going to increase the competition. It's going to make players, get a little bit more creative on how they draw fouls. But more importantly, we get to see more pure skill in the game. And I think that's extremely wonderful to have.
Devonte, factor cap.
Definitely fact. It is needed, but man, some people are about to start getting clamped, bro. This is about to be hilarious. I will say, I definitely agree. This definitely needs to change. It's kind of annoying when you see that happening, especially when they're playing your team, and that happens. That's like a big game changer sometimes. Players get frustrated. Players foul trouble starts to become an issue within the game. You take that away, that's brand new ball. It really does clean it up. It cleans up the game and makes it actually more professional. Think about it. That stuff is not called when you playing street ball or when you playing pickup. People will look at you crazy. What? What if you don't move on? And then now it's gonna be shoot forward, ball don't lie, all that you got to deal with. That's handled. So I like that this is going to be changed. It will be most necessary. A lot of players are going to struggle. I'm not going to necessarily just bash Harden like that, though, because Harden's still that dude. He's going to learn to switch it up. Harden's going to pick it up. He's going to have to go to the lab and figure something out. I hope he don't pick up another tactic. I hope he actually develops a skill of how can I get off this defender? I mean, I already got the dribble moves. He already got away with the step pull back where people think he traveling. So he gonna be all right. Don't disrespect James Harden like that. I would never. That's crazy. But no, fact, it is needed, and I'm really excited to see how this progresses in the league.
CJ?
One correction to something Corey said earlier. The rip through move has already been outlawed. It's been outlawed since 2011 because that was Kevin Durant's prime. And it was like his whole thing. Was the rip?
Bro, they caught it on PG the other night.
They should not have. But the rip through move technically has been outlawed since 2011, so that's already off the table. Listen, the NBA since the early 2000s have been on a trend of trying to protect the offensive player when it comes to their rule changes. It is nice to now see a defensive minded rule change that will kind of help defenses get better, because bro, we reaching a point now we're regularly seeing like 130, 120 games in the NBA. That shit shouldn't happen. I enjoy offense, but that shit really should not happen. Like it's almost to the point where we're watching all-star games every single day. To me, as a hooper who plays, Devonte hit it like really just on the nail. If you call that shit while we hooping, bro, I swear to God, I'm gonna kick your ass off the court, because that shit ain't like, we not doing this shit, bro. Like, we're not playing that way. And to see it be put in the most professional, most elite league in the world, it's mind-boggling that it's taken this long to make this rule. Like, it really should have been like this for a minute now. And to Devontae's point, I will say this, bro. We all know this is a James Harden rule. Like, this, ain't anybody over here like being like confused. They should call it the Harden rule, because it really is the Harden rule. Like, it really is. But no, I digress. It is fact that it's a good thing. I'm glad. I'm happy.
The next one I have for you, last one actually. Detroit holds the first number 1 pick since 1970. General Manager Troy Weaver has said trading the selection is an option. So the question is this the best move for Detroit? Fact or cap? Let's start with, let's go back to CJ.
Cap. Cap. Listen, the best fucking move is Cain motherfucking Cunningham, bro. What the fuck are y'all doing, bro? Like, legitimately, you have a chance to get someone who is a more athletic version of Luka. You need to go and get this man, all right? I'm not saying he's going to be to the pedigree of Luka at the end of the day, but like, this man is athletic as hell, controls the ball in the same vein as Luka. You need him to be your point guard of the future. He will lead Pistons basketball for the next decade if they take him. And I think, honestly, I don't even understand like, as soon as they got it, this was a conversation that got brought up, and I was like, why? Like, y'all should just be happy. This is, to me, the first sure thing since Luka coming out of the draft. So, yes, take it and run with it, bro.
Corey?
Listen to me real quick when I say this. Cade Cunningham in the water, that's Wade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham under a tree, that's Shade Cunningham. Okay? Cade Cunningham slaying, different people and aliens and vampires, that's Blade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is the best option for Detroit at number 1 pick. Them even fancying, it's an option, is a smack in the face. Don't put that shit out there, even if you're thinking about it. Because then if I'm Cade, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to be in Detroit. You're thinking about, because if the option is for me to be traded, do you actually even want me? So I'm not even putting that even in the atmosphere. That's the best option right now. You got a young team that doesn't have a lot of like huge star power. You just kind of got rid of Blake Griffin. You're going to have some space to bring other people in. The Pistons should look at this situation as the Suns. Like, build your team like the Suns built their team. And in 4, 5, 6 years, you can have a team that's running to the playoffs just like the Phoenix Suns are right now. Go get Cade, let him, put him in the system, build him up, put people around him, and in 5 and 6 years, let him try to run the East as he should be able to run the East. I love the way he controls the game. I do agree. People have talked before. I've seen him play. I know the man. Shout out to the boy. He from Arlington, so I'm gonna give him that love.
Luis, what do you think?
I think it's cap. You draft Cade. I don't. The rumor is the GM likes to see everything from all angles, right? And there's rumors that they want to pick up a center, right? That's how they want to build their team. But sometimes you can't pass up on generational talent like this. And that's where I feel like Detroit's being a little disrespectful, because you know what I bring to the table. We know what your roster is. You lost Blake Griffin. You're not scaring nobody. So might as well add a piece that can put you in the best position to win. So that's how I feel about Detroit. They wilding right now.
Devonte, wrap it up.
Detroit, you're an idiot for even saying this or even thinking this. You woke up and decided to choose violence. Now, if Cade somehow now pulls an Eli Manning on y'all, that's your own fault. Big Cap, you take this man, bro. Like, you are literally being told by so many folks of the great place of Detroit to don't F this up. Don't. Your team has been Dookie since Ben Wallace and Chauncey Billups. Like, I mean, y'all literally have not been relevant. Blake Griffin made a splash and tried to make y'all decent and then got washed in the freaking first round of the playoffs when he got y'all there. I mean, like, you're struggling. You take Cade Cunningham or it's over, or it's going to keep being the curse, or we'll never see another good bad boys Piston team. Like, we'll never probably ever see that, but like, we're never going to get that relevancy. But I will say, if they want to be bozos and decide to trade it to Orlando. There's talks of Penny Hardaway's getting interviewed right now as we speak to be the Orlando Magic head coach. I know Kay would want to work with Penny Hardaway. So send him over there to Orlando. Give up Mo Bamba. That didn't work. Give up whatever. They want a center that bad and you want to screw up your franchise. Take whatever they have and let Cade and Penny take that and let Orlando run it and do the right thing. But Detroit, get it together before you be stuck in looking like New Orleans Pelicans in the next 4 seasons, wondering if Cade is happy. Get it right. Get it right ASAP. I digress.
That wraps up our third quarter, y'all. So now we're going into fourth, and it's about the Euros. So the round of the 16 is set for the Euros. We already have 4 results. So Wales versus Denmark. Denmark won. They squeaked by into the round of 16, and Denmark dominated their match. Italy versus Austria. Italy won in overtime. They have a great team with good leadership, but can they keep pushing it? We also had the Netherlands versus Czech Republic. Our producer Chance says, "Don't ever doubt Vlad Soufal." Something like that. All caps, he put it. And then we had Belgium versus Portugal, both in the top 5 FIFA ranking. Belgium won 1-0. Ronaldo, we got to give credit to him, but Belgium is not a team to take lightly. So my questions for y'all, right? So we're going to talk about the last 4. And Spain versus Croatia. Who do you think will win? Let's start with Luis, our soccer guy. Football guy.
Honestly, Croatia has a wonderful midfield, but I think Spain has too much power. They have so much youth. They have speed. They have the tacticians, the marksmen to make Croatia look like a second-class team. But they are the World Cup runner-ups, and they're not they're not to be taken lightly. So it's going to be an exciting game. I genuinely believe, for an example, Luka Modric is going to be playing, and I know he's going to be just controlling the field. One player that's not playing, which will make it a little bit more difficult for Croatia to win, is Perisic, which is one of their left midfielders. And his absence is just lack of attack, being able to have a dominant presence in the field. So I think Spain, edges this one out. I'm thinking
Devonte?
maybe 2-0.
Devonte, what do you think?
Croatia. I got Croatia. Yeah. They runner-ups, right, Lou?
Yeah, man, yeah. Couple years back, but yeah, you got it.
Them boys. And I ain't talking Cowboys.
CJ?
I'm sorry, CJ.
Spain or Croatia?
I will never doubt Luka. Any Lucas. No, I legitimately think though. They impressed me in the World Cup, and I think that they have a chance to pull the upset. We've already seen a couple upsets today, so I think I'm gonna go with Croatia on this one.
Fools.
And Cori.
Let me think real quick. I'm probably gonna go with, just because everybody else said Croatia, I'm gonna go with Spain. That's it. Just because I want to be.
Luis said Spain.
You said, oh, okay.
Luis
you
said
said
Spain.
Spain. My bad. Never mind.
Yeah, the difference would be going for Croatia, to be honest. Yeah.
Croatia.
You know what? I'm going with CJ then. Let's split it up. Hey, I'm going with Croatia.
So
I don't know why, but because CJ did it. That's what I'm going with. CJ, if you steer me in the wrong direction. Ooh.
Cori, what about France and Switzerland?
France with trouble. Hey, I'm going with France. Because I think France cold. They always cold. They got one of my favorite players, Antoine Griezmann. Also, Karim Benzema. Like, come on, bro. They my pick. They my lock. I'm saying France to the end. Anybody they played, they catching the dub. We going to the top. France, baby. And I'm from America, so, you know.
Okay. Devonte?
Yeah, France. France in 1. I was about to say 6, but it's in basketball. So France in 1. But they cold, though. They really are. I mean, they're the highlight of pretty much everything you see on ESPN when it comes to soccer. So I like it. That they're setting them up for success.
Luis?
I got an asterisk on France because it depends what kind of French team shows up. I understand you have Karim Benzema back on the French national team after taking a underserved hiatus. You have Mbappe, the French Pelé, if you will. You have Antoine Griezmann. He hasn't been performing in Barcelona, but he can strike it from the long distance. Kanté, which is one of the best midfield defenders. Pogba. My goodness, Pogba's crazy good. So it's just a lot of talent, and you can't deny the talent. But Switzerland is a very fundamental team. They will control the game. They will more than likely play possession because they know they can't beat you, hit for hit. They're going to try to go a lot of counter runs and potentially even try to go deep. So I think it depends what French team. It's a question mark. The Netherlands were supposed to be a cue in for the quarter, but they were unable to come up with a win. And I kind of have that same feeling for France. Now, if France, makes it out of, Switzerland, I think they are the clear favorite because of the, the talent that they have. But the Swiss, something about the Swiss.
What about England versus Germany? Luis?
I have Germany. Germany is too talented. England has great young players that can, strike. Harry Cain has been playing the top of his game. But Germany, watching them play Portugal really showed me that they can really bring it to any team. Because I had Portugal winning it all. Going back to back from 2016, being the defending champions, and Ronaldo, being more than likely his last go around in the Euros. But Germany has the opportunity to become a dark horse, and although German national teams being a dark horse is kind of a realm of like, hey, that usually isn't said. It's like saying the Lakers are an underdog, But I think Germany has the opportunity to just go start dominating, especially if there's so much talent with the German team, honestly. But I'm kind of biased because my favorite team is Bayern Munich, so.
Devonte, England, Germany, what do you think?
According to the statistics that our great producer Chance put, England ain't done no traveling. Germany has. Germany in 1.
Cori?
Oh my gosh. For me, I'm taking Germany only because of Tony Kroos. I used to play with him on FIFA all the time, so I'm gonna say they cold for that. So I'm taking Germany. Tony Kroos. Wait, he on the Germany team, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm about to say, I know
Now
that.
this
We
man,
said, well.
I know that, bro. Hold on, let me make sure I don't get fouled.
I would have called the foul
I'm
by now
taking it.
already. You know me.
Oh.
Nah, I'm about to say, he was like, huh? Wrong team, sir.
CJ, what do you think?
Y'all know my fiance would disown me if I did not pick anybody but Germany to win this one. So Germany is gonna win. So yes, Germany will win this one. Yeah,
That's deep.
And then our last one is Sweden versus Ukraine. Let's start with Cori.
Man, I don't really know how I feel about. I'm gonna just be honest. How about I do this? In this hand is Sweden. In this hand is Ukraine. The powers that be tell me Sweden. That's it. That's how I'm gonna do that. I ain't watched none of them, so I have no idea. Our producer Chance is telling me that I'm wrong. So matter of fact, Chance, you want me to pick Ukraine? If Chance would like me to pick Ukraine, Chance wants me to pick Ukraine. So I am going with my boy Chance. I'm picking Ukraine. I changed my vote.
Devonte?
So it's crazy. I actually know that Ukraine is a decent team. So Ukraine, I definitely got Ukraine. They're not bad.
Double homicide.
Yeah.
Luis.
I mean, Sweden was able to get out of the group stage just fine, so I'm gonna pick Sweden on this one, even though Zlatan need to be there, but it's okay. It's
Bro,
okay.
quick side note, my brother-in-law and my sister met him. They
Really?
were so
That's my favorite
backstory.
player.
My sister lives in Sweden. Shout out to my sister. And they were walking on the street and they ran into him and they're like, "Hey man, can I take a picture?" He was like, "Okay," and they took a picture. And he freaked out, right? Because he's a big deal. So,
Yeah, I would have freaked out too.
So Bree got
He's my favorite player, bro.
just casually, but
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'd probably
CJ,
faint. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You'd faint.
no, you did not.
I would,
CJ
honestly. Zlatan is such a great player.
That's my favorite player, bro.
Well, let's see
He
if I
called
find this
himself a
picture.
god.
Oh my. CJ, what do you think?
For my homie Jens, I'm gonna go Sweden. Let's go.
That blue and yellow, y'all. Okay, and whoa, there's some points here. 1 second. So last thing, going back to the Euros. What are y'all's reactions so far? Do you have a favorite moment? Let's start with CJ. You look excited.
Yeah, actually, no. I mean, I listen. Every 4 years, I become excited about soccer again, and this year, I'm super excited because I've watched some really remarkable stories happen over the Euros. I low-key been having it play in my office when I've been doing nothing but busy work. And honestly, Denmark's journey through the group round was just amazing. I mean, first game, Christian Eriksen goes down and possibly has a heart attack on the field. That was scary enough. We talked about it in a couple episodes ago, or probably the last episode actually. But I think them dominating just their last match in the group round just to get to the round of 16, and then them dominating the first round of the round of 16 to go ahead and go forward. That to me just screams like a team who is on a run, and I'm very interested to see how they play over the next couple of games. I will say also, they won the group final game in Copenhagen. That was amazing. That was, the whole crowd was live, lit, and it made me feel like I was in the stadium with them as they were playing. So that was really nice.
Cori?
Oh man, CJ always coming through with nice feel-good stories and the moral value and stuff. Man, I love what you bring to the show. Cause you wanna know what my favorite moment was?
What?
When Ronaldo moved the Coke out the way.
Ending businesses.
Boy, stock went down. That boy said, "Agua, we want water only. We ain't drinking no Coke over here. What you doing? Don't be putting we don't care about no sponsors. I'm rich enough. Don't put no Coke out in front of me. We drinking water only. All right. Maybe Coke maybe Coke will come out and try to disguise their cans better next time. Whoever placed them there. That's been my favorite part of the whole damn thing. Was seeing that and then people start tripping over that. So,
Devonte, you got a favorite moment?
I would say did Mbappe and Ronaldo just play each other not too long ago, or are they about to?
Yeah, they played in the group stage.
They just played.
Okay, yeah, no, that was pretty exciting. I mean, I didn't even watch the match. I won't even sit here and cap, but they hyped it up pretty big, and it was just kind of like, wow, like young legend versus new legend. That's kind of what I seen it as. It was kind of like a Kobe versus LeBron back in the day when they would hype that up on those games, and some of the youngs versus the old heads. It was pretty dope. I was just kind of excited for it actually. So that's what's up. And Ronaldo he's a powerful man. It shows with that coke, man. Because I was like, that is insane that he would do something like that. But oh well.
Luis, give us something good.
Yo, I actually got a couple of storylines that I want to discuss. So there's my favorite one right now is Ronaldo equaled the men's international gold record of 109. That's extremely impressive for him to do. So tips off to that. He has 5 goals in tournament. He was leading before he just got knocked out. So Ronaldo could win the top scorer of the league and not even make it past the round of 16. That's amazing. Italy is on a 30-win game streak, the most ever. So wow. If they continue down this road, could they win the final? They're setting records. But the most important one that I want to discuss is the UEFA denied Munich's request to light up the stadium with pride colors. And I love how the world reacted to just such a foul denial, and neighboring stadiums in Munich decided to light up with the pride flag. And I think the way the world reacted was extremely beautiful and powerful, extremely in Pride Month. So to the communities in Munich, you guys are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for taking the stance that y'all made, because it needs to be done.
Italy doing all that to lose to France. Oh, my bad.
Y'all, that's game. I asked Luis for 1. He gave me 3, but I'll take it.
And no points.
He said, I did all of that. And Bree ain't getting no points. I came with 3 different angles. And you get no points, boy.
One of these days I'm going to be
crazy.
Happy. So just wait.
I'm waiting. Let me know.
Zing, zing, zing.
I think Chance, he's a
CJ Rocket, so I think he won.
I think CJ won. Right now Chance is telling us the points. Oh, dang, Devonte got it. Oh,
it looked like
CJ.
It's the sleeveless.
Yeah, maybe it is the no sleeve. CJ, what's
bro?
your...
Put some sleeves on, bro.
Yeah, put some sleeves on, bro. I know you cold, bro.
Tell us your final take, CJ.
Actually, I want to do a shout out for our final take. So, all right, guys, we didn't post last week because my dumb ass decided to try to record from a very not safe Wi-Fi area, and we actually had a guest, Stefan. I don't know his last name. Can anybody help me out with his last name? Taylor. He actually won last week too. So shout out Steph. While this may seem like I'm on a 2-win streak, I am not. I'm just reclaiming my crown.
Steph was winning.
Barely should have won this one.
I mean, I did though. So what's up? Hey,
nah, man, I try to hear from you right
but I digress. Steph, thank you for coming out. We will look forward to having you on future episodes for sure. But hey, sleeveless. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Ice cold.
Ice Tray.
We gonna start calling him Sleeve Tray. Sleeve J.
Sleeve
there
J.
we go.
Ooh, that's
Sleeve
cold.
J. That's what we call him.
That's cold.
Sleeve J. Thank y'all
That's
for
cold.
Trademark.
For tuning in, y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, all the things wherever you're listening to this podcast. We're on all platforms. Make sure you come in and tune in next week.